So right in the foreground here, this is what I think is Escalante Butte. And right next to it is Cardenas Butte. And the Tanner Trail runs right along the sides of these buttes, descends 7.8 miles down to the Tanner Rapids. So you may see little bits of the trail here. And just a couple of notes before we begin the hike. Straight in front of us, we see the Colorado River. And a couple of points of interest here. Those are called the Hance Rapids. And then to the right, we have the Unkar, U-N-K-A-R, the Unkar Delta. So we have this creek flowing down here, and that's forming a delta right here, which the Indians, the Native Americans used to use this area as farmers. And there is the delta, all that sand, and we have some vegetation. The Unkar Delta. Well, there's no marking here, but this appears to be the beginning of the Tanner Trail. So we're going to start heading down here and see how it goes. This is not a maintained trail, but it is a fairly heavily traveled trail. Descends very steeply at the beginning. So we're just going to meander along here. Looks like we found us a trail. And we'll head on down. It's sunny at the moment, which is great. Air is a little bit cool. And here we go. Let's explore. Well, I'm still poking and prodding here, a few other dead ends, and I'll give it just a little bit more attempt at this. It is a non-maintained trail, so it's a little tough for me to find it. So we're going to just look a little bit further, and then we may call this a day. All right, the good news is it looks like we found something more legitimate here. Now we've got us a trail. This is more like it. Okay. So let's continue. See how far we can go on this thing. Okay, it looks like we're going to start some switchbacks at this point. So now we're starting a very steep section. More challenging, I think, than the chimney over at the South Kaibab, as that has much longer switchbacks. But this is an easy trail to hike in terms of it's easy to follow now and safe enough. Just watch your step always. Here we go. Awesome. Yeah, a little more rocky than the South Kaibab, so we're going to watch our step here. There's always a danger of these rocks just sliding out from under your feet. So we just pick our way and we don't rush. There's something that is magnetic that draws you to this place. And there's where we came from, so that's our elevation difference so far. I don't know, maybe 100 feet. We're going to continue. So my plan today, as this is just a very short day hike, Kathy's up at the Desert View Village area, and I'm going to try to keep this to a 3-hour or less journey, more like 2 hours on the trail. So I'm hoping to just go down a few more switchbacks and maybe find a spot where it just levels out a bit and maybe just pause there for the day. Okay, and this doesn't look like it's leveling out soon. And the thing about the canyon is, as you know, down is optional and up is mandatory. So I know I have to climb up this steep area, which is always more difficult, generally, let's say more tiring than going down. What a view. And if you look closely again, we'll zoom in. There's the Tana Trail continuing. We're not going anywhere near that spot today. So I just met a very kind couple that was also doing a very short day hike here. And they said it just keeps switching back for quite a while, but they stopped at some rock outcroppings and turned back. So it looks like a bunch of rocks to me right here. So I may just go just a touch further and then head back up. Well, I'm 3/4 of a mile down the trail now, and it's all switchbacks and there's more ahead. So I'm going to pause here and rest, and I'm going to turn back and head back up the trail, which will take me a little bit longer than getting down. And for someone who's approaching 68 years old, this was a good little hike. It'll be enough for today. But boy, it would be fun to get to the bottom, down to the Tanda Rapids. That's about 7 miles ahead of me right now. But look at these rock formations. Look at the power of the earth here. Incredible. And also what I realize is that when you're on these trails heading into the canyon, there is something very magnetic that just keeps pulling you deeper and deeper. Go a little more, go a little more. It's almost like drawing you in. So we're going to turn around at this point and not get intoxicated by the power of this place too much, and head back up to the top. And there is a real nasty wind coming in right now. So we're going to go ahead and finish up this day hike. About 1.5 miles round trip down the Tanda Trail. Let's go. And here is the elusive trailhead sign, which is really easy to find, just to the right of the parking lot. And I'm glad we found it. I'm glad I was able to do this hike today. And now I'm going to go to the Desert Village and get some coffee and relax. Hope you enjoyed the day hike.